I'm Barkha Dutt, you're with the Mojo Story. Our focus today is on the political impact of Arvind Kejriwal's bail. Remember, he now has bail in both the arrests made by the Enforcement Directorate and the CBI. While Mr. Kejriwal will walk out of jail, the Supreme Court has ordered that he cannot go and attend office, nor can he sign any files without the consent of the Lieutenant Governor. The judges were divided on the legality of his arrest by the CBI, with one of the two judges remarking that the CBI must dispel the notion of being a caged parrot. The judge questioned why the CBI had felt the need to arrest Arvind Kejriwal and believed that it was only to frustrate, quote unquote, the bail that Arvind Kejriwal had received in the case of his Enforcement Directorate arrest. Now, the question is, with Haryana elections imminent, a state where the Congress and the AAP alliance has failed, what will be the political impact of this bail? With Mr. Kejriwal unable to sign files without the consent of the Delhi LG, somebody who's not known to exactly be on his side, with his inability to attend office, what might this AAP and this AAP government look like? To talk about the political impact and the political brand of Arvind Kejriwal, let's introduce our guest today. Ashutosh is with us. He's the co-founder of Satya Hindi. He's a veteran journalist and editor. He's also had a stint on the insides of the Aam Aadmi Party as a politician. Thank you, Ashu.
Thank you.
What is your first reaction to the Supreme Court? It's a divided judgment. One judge has been quite critical about the fact that the CBI arrested Arvind Kejriwal at all. The other judge says the arrest is illegal. Both judges are united that Mr. Kejriwal can't attend work, can't go to office, can't sign files independently. Your comments?
I think it's a good news for Aam Aadmi Party, and it's also good news for Arvind Kejriwal, and a big relief for the family also, because for the last 6 months he was in jail. But it's not a relief in the case itself. That if anybody thinks that it's great victory for the Aam Aadmi Party and for the Arvind Kejriwal in the excise scam, no, it is not something like that. It's just only a temporary relief, and it's good for the two reasons. One, finally, the Supreme Court has also realized that people are put in jail for extraneous reasons. And that's one reason that if you look at the last 6-7 months, Sanjay Singh was given a bail in the PMLA case, the Manish Sisodiya was given a bail in the PMLA case, then K. Kavita is given a bail in PMLA case, then the Mr. Prem Prakash, one of the close associates of Hemant Soren, he was given a bail on this, and the Supreme Court has been redefining the law itself and the PMLA case also. And the Supreme Court has reached the conclusion, which they should have reached much before, that bail should be the rule, not the jail. But so now they're getting bails. And then in the Prem Prakash case, Supreme Court has also said that self-incriminating evidences of the witnesses will not be treated as evidence in the court of law. If that stands, then many cases of ED cases will fall flat. So in that sense, it's a great relief for all those who have been talking about that PMLA case and the ED is a draconian. At least there is some relief somewhere. Politically, obviously, it's a great relief for the Aam Aadmi Party also.
Now, you're calling it a relief for the Aam Aadmi Party, but not a victory. What is the difference in the two things?
See, the case is still going on. The excise policy case is still going on. And at least 3 of their top leaders are within that. Arvind Kejriwal has not been given any clean chit on the case. Manish Sisodiya has not been given any clean chit. And then Vijay Nair is also out on bail, but he still haven't got any clean chit. So the case is continuing. That means the sword is still hanging over them. And who knows if they get convicted? Who knows if they are not convicted at all or get a clean chit from the court itself? So till they get a judgment, a final judgment on the excise policy, I will not say it's a victory for them, though they will celebrate, and they should celebrate also. It's a temporary relief in that sense, because it's much closer to the assembly elections. So Aam Aadmi Party has everything to rejoice that now on they will be fighting the election under their own commander-in-chief.
But Ashutosh, in terms of Arvind Kejriwal being the commander-in-chief, the Supreme Court does not allow him, and this was the same restrictions when he got bail in the ED case. He cannot attend the office, he cannot go to the Delhi Secretariat, he cannot sign files unless the LG consents to the signing of those files. Does that matter, or given the fact that Arvind Kejriwal never actually kept any portfolios with him, does it not matter? Like, how will this actually impact the running of the government and the running of the party?
See, if I use Arvind Kejriwal, if he was happy running government from the jail, then he will be more than happy running government from outside the jail. It doesn't matter whether he is signing the files or he's going to the office. Anyway, hardly any chief minister in this country goes to office to attend office. Most of them are running government from their own residence. Only thing is not supposed to sign, but then he was not holding any portfolio also. There is no bar. If what I read is that now he can hold a cabinet meeting, he can instruct his ministers, and ministers can very well sign on the dotted lines. But the biggest relief for the Aam Aadmi Party is not on the front of the government, but on the front of the politics. Assembly elections in Haryana is there, and Aam Aadmi Party has decided to contest all the 90 seats, irrespective of the fact that the last time they got only 0.48% vote share, despite contesting 48 seats. And that was less than the Nota 0.51. But now the Kejriwal will be a face. He will go to Haryana and contest election. But the most important thing is that assembly election in Delhi is around the corner. That's supposed to happen in the month of January and February. So he will have at least 3-4 months to prepare, to streamline his team and to go for the campaigning. That's a great boost, because Arvind Kejriwal inside the jail would have really handicapped Aam Aadmi Party's campaign in Delhi.
No, but let's talk about the politics. We start with Haryana, where, as you mentioned, in the last assembly elections, the Aam Aadmi Party got less than 1% of the vote, right? Now, the point is that the alliance talks between the Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party failed, and that alliance has not worked out. In the Lok Sabha elections, at least, we did not see any visible advantage to the Aam Aadmi Party from Arvind Kejriwal's arrest. So any sympathy factor, we don't know within Delhi's assembly elections, and by that time, if people even remember, we don't know. What is the political impact of Arvind Kejriwal being out there in Haryana? What is the political impact?
Zero impact, and I might be criticized for saying so, but zero impact, because Arvind Kejriwal, this is not the first time he's entering into the Haryana elections. If you remember when Yogendra Yadav was there, I think you remember in 2012, 2013, the survey was done. At that point of time in Haryana, Aam Aadmi Party was getting something around 20% vote share. But over a period of time, the Aam Aadmi Party almost has become a non-existence in Haryana. And though Arvind Kejriwal has always aspired to project himself as the son of the soil from Haryana, because he belongs to Siwani, and he always wanted to contest the election, and he aspired to be a full-fledged chief minister if something happens in Haryana and he could emerge as the chief minister. But over a period of time, the lot water has flown, and I don't think Arvind Kejriwal and Aam Aadmi Party has any chance in this election. Whether they had contested elections with Congress Party or not, it's not important, because Aam Aadmi Party, frankly speaking, is a non-existent party in Haryana politics. It can, if it can work in 1 or 2 constituencies, it can try to get some respectable number of votes. But in the rest of the constituencies, I don't see much happening.
If I remember correctly, in our previous conversations, while Arvind Kejriwal was still in jail, you didn't actually agree with him running the government from jail. And I think you called this a problem or a crisis of his own making. I think you also had some differences with his wife being kind of the de facto person in charge while he was in jail, because she wasn't really somebody who was within the party when the party was being formed. How do you now look at the sort of moral, ethical, legal questions around his inability to sign files? Do you still believe, do you believe that he should continue to be chief minister? Many may question that.
See, I think Arvind Kejriwal and Aam Aadmi Party has crossed the Rubicon. Crossed the Rubicon in the sense, the minute he decided to continue as a chief minister and run government from the jail, he has crossed that moral boundaries. He has crossed those ethical boundaries. See, the Constitution is not only about the written words. Constitution is also about the soul of the Constitution, the basic ethos of the Constitution, and that basic ethos is very, very clear that once you are arrested, you should not contest. You should not you should resign and go to jail, and then pass on the baton to somebody else who could run the government, because the government in his absence was really handicapped. Hardly any decision is taken and hardly anything is happening. And anyway, even if the decision is taken, it doesn't matter, because this goes against the basic grain of the constitution, that an arrested chief minister, which is incapacitated, he can't function as a chief minister, he can't discharge his duty as a chief minister, he can't hold a cabinet meeting, he can't meet his bureaucrats, and he's claiming that he's running the government. So I think Arvind Kejriwal has committed a constitutional blunder, in my opinion, which he should not have done. Now he has done it, and he's trying to brazen out it. I think this is one of the most immoral constitutional thing ever done in Indian politics.
Which part? Because isn't there a contradiction in your position? 1 minute, let me ask my question. On the one hand, you clearly believe that bail should be the norm, and you do not agree with the fact that Mr. Kejriwal was in jail for 6 months without a trial. You clearly believe that the investigative agencies are being weaponized by the government against political opponents. So on the one hand, you have that position. On the other hand, you believe that Mr. Kejriwal has been committed a constitutional blunder and has not been constitutionally ethical in continuing to be chief minister from jail. Is there not a contradiction in these two positions?
Absolutely no contradiction. Absolutely no contradiction. See, the constitution, if you go strictly by the words, then obviously there is no bar on any chief minister. Once he's arrested, he can go to jail and can remain a chief minister. The constitution doesn't bar it. But is it ethical? Is it what the constitutional morality is all about? You are arrested. You can't. There has to be some Lakshman Rekha, some Maryada, some boundary has to be drawn.
So you're saying what Hemant Soren did is what Arvind Kejriwal should have done.
Almost everybody. Look at the Lalu Prasad Yadav in Bihar. When he was arrested in the fodder scheme, he resigned. Jayalalitha resigned. Hemant Soren has resigned. He should have also resigned. So why did he not resign? That's the issue. This shows either he has scant regard for the constitution or he doesn't understand the constitution. My theory is number 3. He is too scared to pass on the baton to somebody else. He thought if somebody else can become the chief minister, that he or she might hijack the party or the government, and then he will be running here and there without anything. So and about the bail and the jail.
What do you mean he's too scared to pass on the baton? You're saying he's politically insecure?
I think so. I think that has to be said in as many words today. He is. Otherwise, why will you? In my opinion, whether Arvind Kejriwal is a chief minister or not chief minister, it doesn't matter. There's hardly anybody in the party who can challenge him. He is undisputed leader. He's a number 1 leader. He could even today he can resign and control the party and the government both. Nothing will happen. There's hardly anybody who can challenge his supremacy in the party. But other than but why he is not resigning? I don't buy his argument that this is a kind of a protest and my arrest is illegal. Let the court decide. If you believe in the constitution, let the court decide. It might be it is a vindictive act. You and I can interpret that way by the government of India, by the ED and the CBI. But there are certain constitutional morality which everybody has to accept. If everybody who's accused of heinous crimes starts saying I'm in jail and because there is some revenge has been sought, the case is furgy, then where will the constitution lead? I was reading an article in Times of India where experts were saying that Arvind Kejriwal can run the government from the jail because he's a constitutional authority. He has to discharge his constitutional duties. Then if I go to jail as a citizen of the country, I have also certain duties as a citizen. Should I be allowed to discharge my duties as a citizen? No, that will the mockery of the constitution. So I think he mocked at the constitution and he had done a great disservice to the constitution, and he has personally harmed himself. His image as a political leader has gone for a toss, and he has to give a lot of explaining in this election before the people.
Do you believe that if the people see it as an act of vindictiveness by the Modi government, they will judge him for not resigning?
Forget about whether the government has been vindictive or not. The issue is, when he was in jail, did it make any impact in parliamentary election? No. That answers the question. That people are not buying the argument that he has gone to jail because the agencies has been vindictive. Otherwise, there should have been substantial sympathy for him. There was hardly any sympathy for him in the parliamentary election. And mind it, in 2014, he lost election. He contested alone. In 2019, Aam Aadmi Party again lost all 7 seats. Then he was contesting alone. In 2024, he was contesting along with the Congress party. Again, Aam Aadmi Party lost. So you are contesting in coalition, and by that logic, he should have done better. He should have won at least 1 seat. Failed to do that, and sympathy also didn't work.
But now he's coming out. So a lot of the things you think he should have done while he was in jail are in the past. He's back now. And as you said, whether he can sign a file or not doesn't impact either his running of the government, because he kept no portfolio, or his control over the party. Where do you see the party going from here? It's a member of the India Alliance or the opposition bloc, but at the state level, Punjab, now Haryana, its alliances haven't actually worked out with the Congress because they're both competing in a way for similar votes. The Congress state leaders have always been hostile to Arvind Kejriwal. This entire liquor scam was first raised by the Congress in Delhi. We forget that now. So where do you see him going politically from here?
It's like when you are asked to write your status in this Facebook, you write complicated. Yeah. It's a very complicated relationship between Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress. They are fighting with each other in Punjab, but they were in alliance in Delhi. And don't forget, in Delhi, just after the parliamentary election, Gopal Rai held a press conference and said the alliance is over. So and then you were trying to have an alliance with the Haryana, with the Congress in Haryana. So in Punjab, you have a different yardstick. In Delhi is a different yardstick. In Haryana, you have a different yardstick. It's opportunistic politics of the first order. I have no compunction in saying something like that. See, let's face it. Arvind Kejriwal in 2025 assembly election is going to struggle. He will have a tough time because since 2013 he has been off and on chief minister. No other government. 2013 he was the chief minister, 2015 he was the chief minister, and 2019 chief minister, and 2020. So there's almost 11 years he had been in the power. So people will not vote for what he said in 2013. What is going to say in 2024 or 25? People are going to vote for 11 years he as a chief minister, whether he delivered or not. It's something like this.
But in Delhi, neither the BJP nor the Congress have good, strong local faces to counter him. In Delhi, local assembly elections at least.
Who knows? Tomorrow BJP comes out with some face. BJP is quite good in taking a rabbit out of hat, so they can do that. So I'm not discounting that, but forget about that. It's like Narendra Modi facing 2024 parliamentary elections, when everybody thought that he was going to get more than 400 seats, when he thought the Pran Pratishtha will get all kinds of votes in this country and people will be fooled. People were not fooled. People were judging Narendra Modi for what he did in the last 10 years. So Arvind Kejriwal this time will be judged for what he did in the last 11 years as a chief minister. So if people are happy, satisfied with his performance, he will sail through. If people are not happy, then he will struggle. In my opinion, this time Aam Aadmi Party will surely struggle, despite whether Kejriwal is in jail or outside jail.
A final question: do you believe that Arvind Kejriwal will come out a changed man? He did come out briefly. He campaigned for the Lok Sabha elections. He went right back in. What kind of Arvind Kejriwal should we expect now?
Arvind, Barkha, why you want me to say something which I don't want to say? The fact is, I do not recognize this Arvind Kejriwal at all. The Arvind Kejriwal I used to know in 2012, 13, 2011, 2014, 15. This is not the same Arvind Kejriwal. At least I had not imagined that. I had imagined that he might go to jail any day, but not for the liquor scam. This Arvind Kejriwal is very different. He is
What's the biggest difference? I know you said this to me on my podcast also, but what's the biggest difference? What is the biggest difference?
For him, power is everything. Everything is in the Arvind Kejriwal, which won election in 2013 and 2015, was a revolutionary. Was a radical a politician, was cut from a different cloth altogether. When he said We are not in politics to do politics, but to change politics. People believed him because he had that moral capital. Over a period of time, he has lost his moral capital. And to regain that moral capital, to regain that popularity is going to be very, very different. Today, you go to Punjab, you will be surprised to know that the entire Aam Aadmi Party in the government is in disarray. And all kinds of stories you'll get to know. I was there in Punjab a few weeks back. The kind of stories I heard was unbelievable. So Aam Aadmi Party as a brand is gone. It's not the Aam Aadmi Party people used to know as a brand. Kejriwal as a brand was a different brand altogether in 2015. Not anymore. He's a different brand altogether. Now he's a hardcore politician, and to win election, he can do anything, and he will do anything.
But before we let you go, the Aam Aadmi Party and its supporters might say that, Ashutosh, you're saying all this because you were once with us. You're bitter now. You had a bad parting, and you are biased. You're not applying an objective lens. What would you say to that?
I would have said much nastier things when I was leaving Aam Aadmi Party. I was probably the only one who hadn't uttered a word when I left Aam Aadmi Party. So if I was not bitter then, why should I be bitter now? Today you are calling me not as an Aam Aadmi Party worker, but as a journalist. And as a journalist, I have a right to analyze the way I have been analyzing Arvind Kejriwal, the way I've been analyzing Narendra Modi, Rahul Gandhi, and Arvind Kejriwal. I know. Let me share you one thing. Aam Aadmi Party has refused to be interviewed by Satya Hindi. Forget about interviewed by the Ashutosh. I was told by a senior leader that, look, we are good friends, but I will not come to your channel because that's what my party has told me. So but that's okay. As a journalist, I have faced enough in the past, enough boycott by different political parties. It doesn't affect me. It doesn't hurt me. But yes, I have a right to criticize him. I have a right to appreciate him. I have a right to judge him, and I have every right to say what I feel, as long as I'm honest in my opinion. When I say the same thing about Narendra Modi, I'm blamed, I'm accused that I'm running an agenda, and you know better than me. You are also running an agenda because against Narendra Modi. So am I. But people have to believe that we are a journalist. What we believe, whether it is good, bad, or ugly, but we have given a constitutional freedom to do that. That's what I'm doing. So let Aam Aadmi Party feel. I have no problems with them, no quarrel with them. I still maintain very good relations with many Aam Aadmi Party leaders, and we are best of friends despite disagreement.
No, I just want to say that, we live in an age where if we don't confirm somebody's bias, they'll accuse us of running an agenda. That's point one. And point two, I have been boycotted by some leader of every political party today at some point in my life. And I think we should wear that as a badge of honor, in my opinion.
That's okay. That's okay. In fact, you will surprised to know that a few senior journalists in Mumbai, they refused to appear on Satya Hindi because they thought that we were bought by RSS and the Narendra Modi government, because at that point of time we were criticizing Rahul Gandhi left, right, and center. When the entire India group was in a disarray, total disarray, there was nothing which could be said. So we were saying what was to be said. So it doesn't matter.
Yes. Another day, another headline, another criticism, and that's fine. That's part and parcel of being a journalist. Thank you, Ashu.
Thank you, Barkha.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye.
It's great to see you here. Thank you for watching our work. If you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to click the bell icon and subscribe to Mojo Story. And